News 8 at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm David Williams. All day, people took time to stop, honor, and remember this young man, a 14-year-old shot and killed at a birthday party in Lawrence last week. It comes during a time when police are looking for one of the shooters. News 8's Eric Feldman was at the Stop the Violence rally and vigil. Eric, there were some strong emotions tonight.
Yeah, well, it comes from the fact that Manny was a bystander in all of this, and they're still trying to process his death, and as they do, as they grieve, they're calling for change.
It may have looked like a party on 25th and Hillside this afternoon, but it was with heavy hearts.
I just want my baby back.
Last Saturday was the first time Manny's mother, Cherie Sampson, let him
He was a mama's boy.
go to a party.
I investigated the party because I just don't do drop-offs. It was parents there, smaller children. I felt comfortable with leaving my son there.
A fight between two groups led to 5 people, including Manny, getting shot. Manny was taken off life support earlier this week.
If I could leave my baby on there forever, and I would. If I could bring him home, I would.
So Saturday afternoon,
don't say RIP anymore. Say live on, little Manny.
a celebration on how this 8th grader will live on through others. A boy who would do anything to help his brother with disabilities.
He changes his brother, he bathes him, he feeds him.
But it's a time for the community, children and parents, to take a hard look in the mirror.
We got to get inside these homes. We got to tackle mental health. We got to tackle trauma, education, poverty.
Because a 14-year-old died thanks to a children's party. The calls for action,
Would you give them strength?
intertwined with grief that Manny's gone.
Took someone that I was with every day, every second of the moment of the day, that you have to cherish everything.
So as they pray and work to stop the violence, Manny's family wants anyone else responsible for this to come forward.
So community activists I talk with say a 14-year-old arrested for his alleged involvement in this shooting. Parents need to be paying attention to who their kids are hanging out with and if there are any weapons in the house to secure them. Lawrence Police is still looking for a potential second suspect. Any information, call 317-262-TIPS. It's the number to call, again, if you know anything. I'm Eric Feldman, Wish TV News 8.
Eric, thank you. The brother of an NBA star is dead tonight after a shooting in Marion. Police say an officer was walking out of a police station when he heard gunshots. He followed them to the Hops Blues Room. That was around 5 this morning. When police got there, they found Roger Randolph on the ground in the parking lot between 2 vehicles. Authorities say he had been shot at least once in the stomach. He had died by the time police found him. Police say they're trying to talk to anyone who may have seen something.
As of right now, we think that there were several people here, probably more than 25 or 30 people here that left prior to the police arrival, and we haven't been able to talk to them yet. So we'd ask if anyone that was here that hasn't spoke to law enforcement, contact the Marion Police Department to see if we can establish any more leads.
Roger Randolph is the brother of NBA star Zach Randolph. He currently plays as a forward for the Sacramento Kings. He helped lead Marion High School to a state championship in 2000 before going to Michigan State. The search is on over for a little boy swept away in a river. Crews found the body of Brendan Sperry this morning right here in the East Fork of the White River. They found his body about a half-mile south of the State Road 46 bridge. He went missing on Thursday while swimming with the family on a sandbar in the Flat Rock River. The current swept him away. His cousin tried to grab his swimsuit, but she had to let go. It's taken under and they had to let go. Search crews, including helicopters, canines, and sonar, were called to look for Brendan. New tonight, authorities are looking for 3 escaped inmates from a jail in White County, Illinois. That's along the Indiana-Illinois border. The sheriff's office says 3 inmates escaped through a brick wall around 3 this morning. A pipe was reportedly used to break a hole in the outside concrete. The 3 inmates were facing charges ranging from murder to theft. They're considered dangerous. One was spotted during a car chase this morning in Illinois, but he managed to escape from officers. A few storms popped up around the metro this evening, but the biggest issue, it is hot. And our Father's Day is set to be steamy too. Storm Track 8's Brad Moushart joins us tonight. Brad, how hot are we talking?
Hey, David. Yeah, we're not going to catch much relief from all this summer-like heat until we get back into early next week. That's when we'll see our next best chance for some rainfall today. Above that 90-degree mark again. That's the 7th day so far this year. We've seen 90+. That's just about half as many times as we see it during the entire year. So it's not even summer yet. That doesn't even start until Thursday. 93 degrees today, 93 as well in Shelbyville. Everybody hitting the 90s this afternoon. And believe it or not, it's going to be even warmer for Father's Day tomorrow. Live look at a very muggy, mild night down here on the circle. 81 degrees. It still feels like 85. The sun set over an hour ago. Humidity at 74%. We call that the air you can wear. And at least the good news is all the rain that we saw earlier today is starting to fizzle back out. We have one little itty-bitty shower here. You can't really see through the ground clutter. All the green you see right here, just false radar returns. And this is set to expire too. That's the good news for Hancock and Henry counties. An aerial flood warning for those two storms that just kind of sat there for a long time this afternoon. This is set to expire here in less than 10 minutes. So this is what we're dealing with now. Just one severe storm here over towards Lima, up towards the northwest. Our next weather maker will try to bring us some rain tomorrow, help cool us down a bit, but I think most of us still going to be very hot throughout the day tomorrow. In fact, we're only dropping back to 75 by daybreak tomorrow, 72 in Shelbyville, a muggy 71 as you wake up and head out the door early tomorrow morning. Good news is we do have some relief in the forecast. I'll let you know when that rain and the cooler temperatures will arrive in the full 8-day forecast in less than 10 minutes.
Brad, thank you. The heat did not stop some people in Indianapolis from raising money to help research for pancreatic cancer. It was the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network's Purple Stride Walk. More than 1,500 people were out walking in downtown. Our own Scott Sander was the MC. PanCan says they raised more than $180,000. The money will go to funding research, clinical initiatives, and patient services. The group says pancreatic cancer is the third leading cause of cancer death in the U.S. New tonight, there is a new Miss Indiana and Miss Indiana teen. This is a live look at the competition. Congratulations to tonight's winners and all of the contestants. Coming up morning in Kansas tonight, what happened to two deputies shot and killed on the job.
You're watching Wish TV, your local news source, with Julian Grace, meteorologist Brad Moushart, and sports with Megan McEwen. Now, News 8 at 10 continues.
Wildfires raging out west tonight. They've been burning in Colorado for 2 weeks. One fire scorching more than 32,000 acres alone. Emergency teams evacuated more than 2,000 homes. People were allowed back in their homes and businesses, but just for a few hours. There are still more than 1,000 firefighters working to put the fire out. A second sheriff's deputy in Kansas died after they were shot yesterday. The deputies were overcome by an inmate during a routine transport. Kim Hutcherson explains what happened.
It's just time for us to begin the healing process.
A routine prisoner transport ends in tragedy in Kansas City. 2 Wyandotte County Sheriff's deputies were shot by an inmate on Friday.
When they pulled into the parking lot and ready to transport these inmates, they were overcome. It is very possible that with their own firearm, they were both shot.
Teresa T.K. King died from her injuries early Saturday morning. She'd been with the sheriff's office for 14 years. Patrick Rohrer, a 7-year veteran of the department, died on Friday.
TK and Patrick gave their lives for us, and they did so fully aware and willing to do so.
The 2 deputies were transporting 2 inmates from a Kansas City courthouse. Authorities say the deputies followed proper transport procedure. Both were handcuffed in the front and shackled. Investigators won't say how the inmate was able to obtain the weapon. Now the community is coming together to heal.
We will work through our emotions and our questions will be answered. And I challenge each one of us to move forward with the same spirit of self-giving that TK and Patrick showed to us yesterday.
I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
Students from Parkland, Florida, kicking off a March for Our Lives national tour. They're survivors of the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. Their goal, spread their message of support for gun control. The campaign started this weekend in Chicago. They'll make 75 stops around the country, also pushing for voter registration to get more people to the polls in November.
Well, outside of a few stray storms tomorrow and Monday, will stay mostly dry until Tuesday. That's also when we anticipate we'll start to see a big cool down in the forecast. I'll have the full forecast for you coming up on the other side of this break.
Hot, hot, and more hot. That really is the only way to describe today. Here's a live look downtown Indianapolis at Monument Circle. I wonder if you can see anybody sweating today. Maybe not. Well, Storm Tracker meteorologist Brad Moushart has our weather. Brad, it was a hot one. I know we didn't get to 100, but it kind of felt like it.
Oh, well, our heat indices definitely got to 100, at least in a couple of spots. And right now, people might still be sweating outside because temperatures in most spots are still in the 80s. The sun set over an hour ago. You can still see we're at 81 degrees down at Bedford right now. A quiet night down that way, but overall a very warm one. 83 degrees. They're still doing some horse racing over in Shelby County. Very warm out there for that. And we'll hop down here looking at the University of Indianapolis. Just a sliver there of the moon here starting to set on the western sky. Mostly clear skies here downtown with just one lingering rain shower that just popped up here over the past 5-10 minutes or so. Live look downtown. You can see we're still at 81. A very hazy, humid night on the way. 85. It still feels like 85. It's 10:15. 74% humidity will make that happen. Southwest wind will keep these temperatures pretty mild throughout the rest of the night tonight. And I did mention one new storm did pop up. It's a wee bitty one over here towards the county line here between Henry County and Wayne County, in between Hagerstown, Cambridge City, very rural area of the county here, just west of Jacksonburg, east of Dudley. So one little lightning strike with that. Good amount of rain here, maybe just to green up the grass just a little bit. That's about all. And you can see they have expired that aerial flood warning that was in play for portions of Hancock and Henry County that expired here just a minute ago. So no more flood warnings, no more severe storms. They do have a slew of severe weather off to the west. And you might say, what's that big orange box? We don't see that a whole lot. Well, that, at least this time of the year, is going to become pretty common. Heat advisory starting to set on in. Excessive heat warning for St. Louis, Chicago, and just an air quality warning, at least for most of central Indiana. I do anticipate that heat advisory to spread our direction tomorrow as most areas top out in the mid-90s. Heat indices tomorrow, just about everywhere will be topping out near the triple digits. So again, a very hot Father's Day on the way. Right now, we're still at 81 degrees, 83 in Shelbyville, 82 still at this hour down in Terre Haute. As we work way through the overnight hours, we'll only drop into the low 70s here to the north. Mostly clear skies will allow us to at least cool down a little bit. Still low 70s here across much of the metro. Little urban heat island, 75 here for Indianapolis, and down to the south, 71 over in Columbus, 71 in Seymour, and 71 down in Bedford. Now, we will see another chance for a few rumbles of thunder throughout the day tomorrow. I think most of the day, at least early on, we start off just partly to mostly cloudy. That's by 2 o'clock with a little bit of daytime heating. Very similar today. We'll see these isolated showers and storms dotting the map throughout tomorrow afternoon, and then by the time the sun sets, these storms fuel on daytime heating. So once we start to cool down a few degrees, those storms will fizzle back out. So don't cancel any plans with Dad. Just if you have any outdoor plans, make sure to stay hydrated. Yeah, that's the heat index here in Indianapolis by tomorrow afternoon, triple digits. First day of summer is not even until Thursday. It's been feeling a whole lot like summer for the past month or so. 95 in Muncie tomorrow, 95 here in Indy, 95 the actual air temperature. And like I said, most areas tomorrow, it's going to feel a whole lot warmer than that. This is just one snapshot at 5 o'clock. So between about 4 to 6, you might want to limit some of that outdoor activity. Don't get too strenuous out there. No big pickup football games or baseball games out there tomorrow afternoon without taking plenty of breaks. 83, though, by next Wednesday. Some relief by next Thursday. Some mid-80s out there. Why? Well, your Chapman Heating Cooling full 8-day forecast says a lot of rain out there. So luckily that's going to hold off for AC's Celebrity Golf Classic there, but it will be a scorcher, 94 degrees there. 90 degrees Tuesday. The better rain chances push in late Tuesday, help to cool us down by midweek before things ramp back up a little bit next weekend. 85 for next Saturday, 86 with scattered storms next Sunday.
More odds coming. Thank you, Brad. Megan McEwen is here with sports. The Fever, they really tried to win tonight.
They did, yes. They were defeated, had not won a game yet going into tonight. However, the tune changed a little bit. You're going to want to see the highlights from this one coming up in sports.
The Wish TV Sports Desk, brought to you by Elbert Roofing. Call the expert. Call Elbert Roofing, the name you can trust.
The Colts break for about a month before reporting to training camp July 25th. And judging by the progress Andrew Luck has made throwing a football, the Horseshoes should be in a better position than they were a year ago. And Frank Reich has confidence in the quality of his team at the moment. The first-year head coach just wrapped up his first off-season workout program in charge. The players still getting used to a new staff and a new playbook. Despite the fresh start, Reich says the team feels the team has some potential to make some noise come the fall.
I do think you can feel as a coach, having been around, obviously we're not in pads, and we always say this every year. We know when we put pads on, it slightly changes, and there's certain players that rise up and certain players just kind of fade away. But I really feel good about the group we have, the talent level, the character level, everything that we've done, the commitment. I feel very confident that we have the pieces here to really challenge week in and week out and do a lot of good things.
On to golf. Round 3 of the U.S. Open continue today, and a lot of big names who normally contend for a major championship missing from the leaderboard. Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, and Tiger Woods all missed the cut on Friday. But one name making a lot of noise at Shinnecock Hills, Dustin Johnson. Conditions much better today. Start this out on the 18th hole. Dustin Johnson misses the par putt. He finished at 3 over on the day, but there's a 4-way tie for the lead. 14th hole, Brooks Koepka. 61 feet par putt. Are you kidding me? Stays at 1 over. He sits at 3 over through the first 3 rounds. Also tied for first. 15th hole, Daniel Berger for birdie sinks it. 2 over. He finished 3 over on the day. He also sits tied for first place. Here's what everyone's talking about, though. Phil Mickelson on the 13th hole. His 48th birthday, by the way. This is for a bogey. He gets frustrated, hits the ball while it's moving. That's a big no-no. That marks a 2-stroke penalty. Many outraged about the move, viewing it as disrespectful. Here's Phil on the incident.
Look, I don't mean disrespect by anybody. I know it's a 2-shot penalty, and at that time, I just didn't feel like going back and forth and hitting the same shot over. I took the 2-shot penalty, moved on. It's my understanding of the rules. I've had multiple times where I've wanted to do that. I just finally did.
And on his 38th birthday, nonetheless. All right, in baseball, IHSAA state finals continued today at Victory Field. The Class A title game featured a team used to the stage, Daleville, who won the championship just 2 years ago, and University, a team trying to win its first ever state title in any sport. A great matchup that did not disappoint, close the entire way. Top of the 5th, tied at 1, Ryan Hale sends one to the wall, scoring the go-ahead run, 2-1 Broncos. But University responds in the bottom half. Throw down to second. Goes through center field. Game tied at 2. This one would go to extras, and that's when Daleville took over, already up 3-2. Jared Waltmeyer drives in another run to make it 4-2. Daleville wins its 2nd state title in 3 seasons, 4-2 over University.
Mental attitude, just the mental attitude of the kids, and I said, I don't care if it's a freshman or sophomore, somebody has to take ownership of this team, and we didn't have it. Well, Peyton Smith, Ryan Hale, Etchinson, those kids, they stepped up.
Finally tonight, the Fever hosting the Dream, trying to pick up win number 1 on the season. Second quarter, Indiana down 3. Erica Wheeler, great pass here to Kayla Alexander. She finishes with the lay-in. That cuts it to 1. Heading out to the third quarter, rookie sensation Kelsey Mitchell. Off the screen, knocks down the 3. She finished with 19 points. Fever up by 10. Great ball movement here. Another rookie, Victoria Vivians, hits from the top of the key, one of her 5 from downtown. She finished with the game-high 21 points. Indiana wins its first game of the season, 96-64 over Atlanta. So that was definitely done in dominating fashion over on our sister station, MyND TV 23.
Yes, for the Fever. I feel like I should do a congratulatory dance for them.
They deserve it. Absolutely. I like that.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, happening now, the Marion County Fair is back. It runs through the 24th. Tickets cost $5, but there are several special theme days where discounts are available. The fair's director says there are several new additions this year. The gates are open until 11 o'clock tonight, but you can always go back tomorrow starting at noon.
Twiggy the water skiing squirrel, it is his or her farewell tour.
Well, there you go.
That's something to see. That's worth the $5, I think, alone.
I think it is.
If you're going, though, get a lemonade shake-up. It's going to be so hot outside, especially tomorrow into early next week. We do have one itty-bitty storm to talk about here. This is rural Wayne County, western Wayne County, west of the Richmond area. Just a few lightning strikes there, nothing severe. Good thing just to green up the grass a bit. We'll see additional rain chances tomorrow. Best rain chances, though, slide back in through the middle of this next coming week.
Thank you. For all of us at Wish TV, I'm David Williams. Good night.